You can't read that into the passage. That's not what it says. Now, Mark 16 is a really interesting text, and I'm not going to get into all of the textual criticism stuff. If you really want to learn more, know that what we're reading here has most likely and is not found in the earliest manuscripts. Just want to say that out the gate. And these signs will accompany those who believe in my name. They will cast out demons. They will speak in new tongues. They will pick up serpents with their hands. And if they drink any deadly poison, it will not hurt them. And they will lay their hands on the sick and they will recover. Again, so what is the context? What is meant here? And when we rewind and read more, we also will start to see things like grammar and parts of speech and ways to be able to start to understand what's being said in these texts. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's rewind to verse 9. You could go read the whole Gospel of Mark to get the full context. Now, when he rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene. This is talking to about Jesus, from whom he had cast out 7 demons. She went and told those who had been with him as they mourned and wept. But when they heard it, that he was alive and he had been seen by her, they would not believe it. After these things, he appeared in another form to 2 of them as they were walking into the country. And they went back and told the rest, but they did not believe them. Afterward, now after those things, here's what happens. He appeared to the 11 themselves as they were reclining at table. He rebuked them for their unbelief and their hardness of heart, because they had not believed those who saw him after he had risen. And he said to them, go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole creation. So go everywhere. And Jesus is saying this almost in hyperbole, because he doesn't really mean to go preach to the trees and the stones and the birds and the animals. No, but he's saying it in this way to what? Say, go everywhere. Don't leave anything out. Go everywhere. Whoever believes, so all the believing ones, so whoever believes out of this whole creation and is baptized will be saved. Now again, side note, some have taken verse 16 here to mean you're not saved until you're baptized. But the will be here is talking about the whoever believes in me. I'm the way, the truth, and life. Whoever comes to the Father comes through me and baptism. Baptism is a command to go and do for those who believe, but it is not the means by which the belief comes about. Let's not confuse those two things. But whoever believes is baptized and will be saved. But whoever does not believe will be condemned. And these signs will accompany those who believe. Does it say all of those who believe? Every single one who believes? It doesn't. It says whoever believes, meaning all the believing, all the ones who believe will be saved. And then these signs will accompany those who believe. But it doesn't necessarily mean all the ones who believe will all do these things. You see how when we start to rewind a little bit earlier, we see a larger context. Jesus talking about whole creation, all the believing ones, and these signs will accompany those who believe. And where do we see these signs? In my name, they will cast out demons. They will speak in new tongues. They will pick up serpents with their hands. And if they drink any deadly poison, it will not hurt them. They will lay their hands on the sick and they will recover. Where do we see these signs? We see it in Acts. They will speak in a new tongue. They will cast out demons. We see some of that in Acts. Does that necessarily mean today? Not necessarily, not based on the context. It didn't say, it said will accompany. Doesn't say for how long. Doesn't say if it will be forever. Doesn't say if it won't be forever. You can't build it just on this verse. But again, the way that this was given, and I know that I'm coming to this text as a cessationist, as one who believes that the miracle and sign gifts were for the apostles in that time and are for today. But I'll also say that this doesn't necessarily mean that they've stopped, but it also doesn't mean that every single believing one will cast out demons, and every single believing one will speak in new tongues, and every single believing one will pick up serpents, and every single believing one will drink poison and not hurt them, and every single believing one will lay their hands on the sick and they will recover. You can't read that into the passage. That's not what it says. And then it finishes. So then the Lord Jesus, after he'd spoken to them, was taken up into heaven and sat down at the right hand of God. And they went out and preached everywhere while the Lord worked with them and confirmed the message by accompanying signs. And that's what happened. These signs happened to show the authority of God as the revelation of God was going out. And we see people being healed. We see demons being cast out. Not at the same rate. Not at the same rate as Jesus' earthly ministry. That's a different conversation for a different time.